What's up guys, and welcome back to the Blue Side FC channel. I'm me, Matt, and I hope you're all doing great. And welcome to a new series on this channel. As you guys know, Chelsea's not going to be playing for about 4-5 weeks. And yeah, the World Cup is going to be lasting for 4 weeks. That's starting from tomorrow on Sunday 20th of November and ends on 18th of December. That's in 4 weeks. And I think after that there'll be 1 week of rest before the club football resumes. So because of that, I've decided to start this series titled Chelsea Players at the World Cup, and this is going to be episode 1. The series is mainly going to be focusing on Chelsea players at the World Cup, which players are going to the World Cup first and foremost, and how they perform in the games. After every round of games, I'm going to be talking about their performances. If they score goals, I'm going to be talking about it. If they have an assist, I'm going to be talking about it. Hopefully they don't get injured, but any news like that comes up, I'm going to be talking about it. Any news surrounding Chelsea players at the World Cup, this is the place to be notified about such information. And if you want to continue to get notifications whenever I release a new episode on this series, click the notification bell and make sure you're subscribed. And if you watch the end and you also enjoy it, give the video a like so that YouTube pushes us out there for more Chelsea fans to also see this video as well. So let's get straight into it. So yeah, for the first episode, I'm going to be talking about the Chelsea players that were actually called to represent their countries in the World Cup. Some of them missed out because of injuries, and some of them too are with countries that didn't qualify, and some of them too just weren't called. So we start with Group A. They're represented in the form of Kalidou Koulibaly and Mendy. They are going to be kicking off on Monday. That is on the 21st of November, and they're going to be playing against Qatar. And I know Mendy and Koulibaly are very, very key figures in the Senegal national team. They were very, very key to them winning the AFCON. I think right now the major blow that they have is that Mane, although he has been called to the national team, it seems like he might not play at least the group stages. That is, if they're able to qualify, I think probably he might be fit before they get to the knockout stages. That is if they qualify, but right now it's not looking good. All reports are saying that his injury is not looking good, and I don't think he might even feature in the World Cup. But it looks like they want him to feature. They want to try and get him to full fitness so that he features in the World Cup. But I don't think it's going to be possible. So yeah, so their chances are also high because they are in the team with they are in a group with Ecuador, Netherlands, and Qatar. I don't see Qatar qualifying to the round 16 stages. No offense to them, but they are not really a football league nation. I don't know the experience that they have. I don't even know one player in their team, but I think Ecuador stands a chance, and I think Netherlands are the favorites. They are definitely the favorites. They are the ones everybody can pick that they are going to definitely qualify. So it's right now between Ecuador and Senegal to qualify along with them, and I'm hoping Senegal qualifies. As an African too, I'm hoping Senegal qualifies, and as a Chelsea fan too as well, hoping Mendy and Koulibaly get to the 16 stage as well. So all the best to them. So that's for Group A. Group A, they're the only ones there, and then we go to Group B. Group B, we have a lot of representation in Group B. Group B is made up of USA, Iran, England, and Wales. So we have a lot of representation in Group B. For USA, we have Christian Pulisic, and we know Christian Pulisic is definitely going to be featuring. He's their main player. He's their key player. They have a lot of exciting players in their squad. They are definitely going to be looking forward to qualifying to round 16. I think they really, really want to get far in the World Cup. As a Ghanaian, we have history with USA. We've beaten them twice in the World Cup. They've beaten us once in the last World Cup, the 2014 World Cup. They're a very, very good side. They are a very, very good side. They've improved a lot over the years in terms of football. As for their women's team is always dominating, but their men's team hasn't really gotten there quite yet. And I'm sure that they want to prove themselves in this tournament too as well. And I'm sure they want to get as far as they can to probably to the finals too as well. So they have an ambition to do that. But they have tough competition from the English squad, the English team that is going. We have 3 players represented there. We have 3 Chelsea players represented in the English national team. That is Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling. Mason Mount and Raheem Sterling were pretty obvious choices. Everybody knew that the 2 of them were definitely going to be called up. I think the surprise was Conor Gallagher. A lot of people were surprised that he was called up. I was happy, as a Chelsea fan, I was definitely happy that he was called up. I think probably him himself, he was surprised. I think I was expecting Shaloba to also be called up. I was expecting Loftus-Cheek to also get a chance, because I feel like this season he has done extremely well for Chelsea in all the games that he has played. Shaloba too as well, all the games that he has played. And I was even also thinking that he might call Tomori. He didn't call Tomori. Maguire starts again. Most English fans say that Maguire plays differently when he's playing for England. He doesn't play well for Man United at all, and I have to agree with that. When he's playing for England, he's a different player altogether. But picking him about over these players is a weird one. But yeah, so the players that are going, Gallagher, Mount, and Sterling, and they're going to be facing each other in their second game of the group stages. They are going to be facing each other. Pulisic is going to be facing Mount, Sterling, and Gallagher. I don't know whether Gallagher will start for the English national team, but I know Mount and Sterling will be starting. So he's at least he's going to be facing them as well. It's going to be a tough one because the two of them are favorites in the group to qualify. Wales too also presented there in the form of Internal Pedu. Internal Pedu is on loan from Chelsea, so he's still a Chelsea player, just that he's on loan. So he's also be good. He was also called up into the Wales national team, so he's also going to be there with Gareth Bale and other players too as well in Wales, because they also want to qualify to round 16. But I think USA and England are the favorites in the group. So we'll see. It's the World Cup. It's football. Anything can happen. Anything can happen at all. So you never know. You never know. But I'm excited to see the England versus USA game. It's going to be a wild one. It's going to be a really, really wild one. It's going to be a tough game too as well. And I'm picking England to win that game. But the USA are full of surprises. They can pull a surprise and they can win that game. So it's going to be tough. So yeah, so now we go to Group E. We don't have any representatives in Group C and D, so we go straight to Group E. And in Group E, we have two representatives in Group E. And in Group E, the countries in Group E are Germany, Costa Rica, Japan, and Spain. And we have representatives in Germany, as in the form of Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is also another very key player for Germany. I think he's going to be starting for Germany up top with Gnabry. Werner didn't go. He's no more a Chelsea player, but he got injured whilst playing for Leipzig. So the strikers that they have to start, in my opinion, will be Havertz and Gnabry. They are the team that I usually support whenever Ghana is not playing a competition. So, but if Ghana is playing, they are second. But for this one, Ghana is playing a competition, so I have to follow my heart. I'm supporting Ghana. I hope Ghana goes through. It's fine, the competition. But for this particular group, Germany are definitely the favorites to qualify. Germany and Spain definitely the favorites to qualify. Sometimes Japan can pull surprises. Japan, they've always been a team of surprise. They always pull surprises, so it's also going to be a tricky one there. But I think the favorites are Germany and Spain. And Germany, we have Havertz there. And it's sad because we used to have three players in the German national team. We used to have Werner, Havertz, and Rudiger. Rudiger has gone to Real Madrid. Werner has gone back to Leipzig. Rudiger has also been called, so he'll also be playing alongside Havertz in the German national team. But Werner was injured, so he couldn't go. And yeah, and then in Spain too, Azpilicueta was picked. It was a big surprise for a lot of people because a lot of people weren't really expecting Aspi to get selected because of probably his age, and there are other players too that I think that probably deserve to go ahead of Aspi, but I think he's there because of his experience. He's there because of his performance too as well, because I think he's also a good player to fall back on too as well. I don't think he's going to be starting because they have Cavallal there. If I was the coach, I'm not going to start Aspi ahead of Cavallal. But it depends on where they use Aspi too as well. So probably Aspi gets some game time too as well. But I'm happy for Aspi. I'm happy that he's going. This is definitely going to be the last World Cup for Aspi because he's 33 years and I don't think he'll be playing football probably in the next 4 years. He might be playing, but maybe he might not be playing at the top level as he is doing now. So, and he's also hoping that he helps his team lift the World Cup. The surprise for me was that Kepa wasn't called. I don't think Kepa was that injured. I don't think he had an issue and he could go to the World Cup. I don't think his injury was that serious and he could go to the World Cup. And De Gea too was also not called. De Gea is also fit. He was also not called. So it was a weird one that these two players were not called. They've played all the qualifiers, I think, and then for the World Cup they weren't called. It's a weird one, but they still have a solid squad. They still have a very, very strong squad. I remember Spain winning the World Cup in 2010, and they had a solid squad back then. I think they still have a solid squad now, but I think Germany has a better squad, and I'm rooting for Germany to win the group. But Spain can also equally win that group. But I think in that group, again, the favorites are Germany and Spain. Costa Rica and Japan, I don't see them. I don't see them qualifying, but they can qualify too as well. Again, it's football, so anything is possible in this game that we love. So It's very, very possible. So let's go to Group F now. Group F, we have Belgium, Croatia, Canada, and Morocco. And for Morocco, we have Hakim Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech was recalled to join the Moroccan national team. We know that he hasn't been called to join the Moroccan national team in a long time because he had an issue with their former with their former coach Vahid. I don't know how to say name because I'm not going to butcher it, but yeah, he had an issue with them, and due to that, he was forced into like early retirement in the international level. When the old manager was sacked, the ex-manager was sacked, and a new one came in, the first thing that he did was to call him back to the national team because he's their main player, he's their key player, he's their star player. And how can you take your star player out of the national team? I know a lot of Moroccans that didn't really like it. Some Moroccans liked it, some Moroccans didn't like it. I think majority of Moroccans didn't really like it because Hakim Ziyech was really the one doing it for them. He was able to help them all the way to qualify. I think that their final 2 or 3 games, he wasn't part of it, but he played a very, very big part in their qualification. So why get him out? I know he had an issue with the former manager, and I remember that game he was called off, and then I think he was angry. He was putting stuff. I think he said some stuff to the manager, and I think that's where everything started. And then he didn't play for the national team again. But now he's been called up, and it'll be very, very interesting to see him also at the World Cup. And then after him too, we have Kovacic. Kovacic playing for Croatia. He was at the finals in 2018 where they faced France, and France beat them. But this time they'll be hoping that they get to the final and win it because they have a very, very good squad. I think some of them this will be their final World Cup. Someone like Modric is going to be his final World Cup, and I'm really rooting for him to also win the World Cup as well. So it's going to be an interesting World Cup because there are a lot of players that are going to be playing their last World Cup for their countries. So they are really, really going to be looking forward to winning it this time or getting far in the competition this time. So I feel like this World Cup is going to be very, very, very competitive, despite the injuries and stuff that's happened before the World Cup starts. But even in the World Cup, I have a feeling that you're going to see more injuries until the World Cup ends because a lot of them are going to be playing very, very hard and very, very determined to win the World Cup this time. So we go straight to Group G. So Group G also has 2 players, Thiago Silva playing for Brazil, and then Denis Zakaria playing for Switzerland. And they are going to be playing each other, I think, in the second game. They're going to play each other in the second game of their group stages as well. I think they'll be playing on Thursday. They'll be playing on Thursday. That's the 24th. So they'll be playing second game of the group. They'll be playing each other. And yeah, Group G consists of Cameroon, Serbia, Switzerland, and Brazil. Brazil definitely favorites, and I think it's up for grabs. The second position is up for grabs, but I think Cameroon is capable of getting it. Serbia is capable of getting it. Switzerland is capable of getting it. Then Zakaria is on loan at Chelsea, and he's going to be playing for the Swiss national team. And they called him up. He's going to be playing as a defensive midfielder. I've not really seen him play for them before. I think he has played for them in the past, but I think when he joined Chelsea, I don't think he has played for them. It will be nice to see him and Thiago Silva clash, and that's also going to be an interesting game too as well. So I wish them the best. And Thiago Silva is also going to be playing his last World Cup. We know he's 37 years old now, and I know he's going to be hoping to live that World Cup for his country. He's the captain, so he's going to be hoping to live that World Cup for his country. If they win, it's going to be their 6th World Cup win in the competition. And yeah, they want to do that. They have a very, very good squad, and they have a very, very good squad that really want to win it. That really want to win the competition. So I wish them the best too as well. Thiago Silva, all the best. Then Zakaria too, all the best. I don't know. I don't see the Swiss as favorites to win the competition, but I see them as favorites to qualify to the round 16. So I see them, Serbia, Cameroon, all as favorites. But I think the Brazilian national team are the ones that people know that they are going to be qualifying. Unless something drastic happens, you never know. Again, it's football. Yeah, so that's it for Group F. I think the favorites to qualify from Group F is going to be Belgium and Croatia. Belgium, they have a very, very good squad. And Lukaku plays there. Lukaku is on loan to Inter Milan. He plays there. So we have another representative there as well. Hazard, former Chelsea player. Courtois, former Chelsea player. KDB, main man for City. Like, they have a star-studded team. And it's a weird one for when it comes to Belgium, because they've always had this star-studded team, they've always had potential, but they don't really get far when it comes to these competitions. They don't really have any end results as in winning the competition when they are called upon. And I know that this time they also want to go through it and win it as well, because they are capable of winning it too as well. So that's it for the players going. Another lone player that is also going, of course, Baba Rahman was called for the Ghana national team to as well, the Black Stars. So he was called to represent, and I think he's going to be featuring too as well, because I don't think we have a proper left wing back for Ghana. So he's going to be definitely playing a lot for Ghana on the left wing, and then Tariq Lamptey will play on the right wing as well. And then and I'm also glad that we got Inaki Williams. We wanted to get Inaki Williams and Nico Williams to play for the Ghana national team, but Nico Williams ended up going to join Spain, the Spanish national team, and then Inaki Williams decided to join Chelsea. So that's good. I think we got the better brother, to be honest. Even though the two of them are very, very good, very, very good players, excellent players in their positions, but I feel like we got a better player. I'm a little bit salty that we didn't get Nico, obviously. So yeah, that's why I'm saying that. So let's talk about the players that missed out due to injury. Ben Chilwell, very, very sad. I know that if it wasn't for the fact that Chilwell and James were injured, like, we would have 5 representatives in the English national team, along with Mount, Gallagher, and Sterling. We knew N'Golo Kante wasn't also going to join the France national team. We've known for a while now that he's not going to be joining them. He had an injury. He's not going to the World Cup, and he's a very, very big talisman for the French national team. He was one of the main reasons why they won the World Cup the last time in 2018. And Pogba too is also not going, so it's also going to be a major blow. But they still have a very, very solid squad, France. So I don't think they are good. They are going to be worried that these two main midfield maestros are not there, but I think they have good replacements for them as well. And then Fofana too. I think he would have been called if he was fit to join the France national team, but he's also out injured, so he also couldn't go. But he's also very young. Players like Chilwell, James, Fofana, they are young, and I know that they'll get a chance to go to the World Cup again. So I just hope this World Cup is going to be a good one. That we are going to be seeing brilliant goals at the World Cup. We're going to be seeing good performances, good games. The World Cup season is always the best season, and I really love the World Cup. I've been watching the World Cup for a very, very long time. And I think this time I'm going to be watching a lot of the games too as well, because of this series, because I have to analyze all the players. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the episode 1 of this series, and I hope this episode is not that long after I'm done editing it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe if you've not subscribed yet. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified whenever I release a new episode of the series. And yeah, hit the like button too if you like what you've seen or you've watched so far. I like my content too as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support on the previous videos and on this video as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, stay safe.